So for making your first quilt, you are going to need fabric, and that's what I'm talking about today. Welcome to Epida Studio. My name is Elizabeth, and I help you make beautiful things with quilting, pochaggi, and embroidery. So for making your first quilt, you're going to need fabric, and today I'm going to talk about what kind of fabric you need and how much you need and how you should choose your fabric. So for what kind of fabric you need, I recommend that you go to a store and get cotton or quilting cotton. So this is like a medium weight woven fabric. So it's not heavy like jeans or denim or canvas for a bag, and it's not super lightweight. Like if you held it up, you probably can't see through it. It's not something super drapey, but it's a medium weight. And it's something woven, so that means it's not stretchy. So if it looks like something that you would make a t-shirt or a hoodie out of, then that's not what you want. You want something that is not going to stretch when you pull it. And so if you go into most stores, that's going to be a lot of the fabric that they have. And so when you go into a store, if you're not sure, you can just tell someone you're looking for cotton for a quilt, and they will be able to direct you. And you'll probably be overwhelmed by all the different patterns and colors that there are available. So if you're having trouble picking out colors, I do have a whole video that talks about how to choose fabric for a quilt, so you can check that out. But for this quilt that we're going to be making, this is what is called a 3-yard quilt. So it takes 3 fabrics, and there is 1 yard of each of the fabrics. So you only need to pick out 3 fabrics that go together. So you could maybe pick 1 fun print and then 2 fabrics that kind of go with that, or you could just pick 3 colors that you like. One thing to keep in mind, if you go into a quilt shop, a lot of quilt shops will have little bundles made up for you. And so it's 3 fabrics that the people in the shop have chosen that go together, and there's 1 yard of each. So if you're in a quilt shop, you can ask them, do you have any 3-yard quilt bundles? And they might have some for you. If they don't have some already made up that you can choose from, then they will be familiar with the concept, and they will be able to help you to pick your fabric for that. But whether you buy a bundle that's already made up, or you go and just pick your own fabrics, then here are some things to keep in mind. You want to have a little bit of variety. You don't want to have all fabrics that are almost identical, like the same color. You want to have a variety between colors and variety between light and dark. And it can be a little variety or it can be a strong variety. So I have these 3 fabrics that I'm using. So you see it's 3 different colors. There's blue, pink, and light gray. Now, there's a little variety of light and dark. I don't have anything that's super dark in this one. It's kind of like a light and a medium. So this will be fine. And I also have the variety in color. So you could just pick 3 colors that you like. In terms of print, sometimes you can get fabrics and they have huge bold prints on it. And these are really fun fabrics. There's lots of great things you can do with them. But remember that for this project, we're going to be cutting it down into small pieces. So if it has big flowers that are 12 inches, we're not going to see a whole flower. We're going to see a little piece of it. So keep that in mind. You might not want a huge print fabric for that. So that is your fabric for the front of the quilt. Now, quilts are made up with 3 layers. So there's the top part, which is normally the patchwork part, and that's what we're going to be spending a lot of time on. And then there's the bottom part, or the backing fabric. So that is just normally a single piece of fabric that's on the back of the quilt. If you find a big print that you love, you might want to consider that for the back of the quilt. So when we get to that part of putting the quilt together, at that point, I'm going to be talking about how much fabric you need for the back of the quilt, because there are a few different options or things that we can do with that. And at that point, you will know exactly how big your project is. So when you're looking for fabrics, keep that in mind that you will need fabric for the back, but you can get that later. So when you've chosen your fabric, then drop a comment and let me know what fabric you picked, what colors you're going with, how you chose those colors. I would love to hear it. And if you have any questions, you can ask. I'd be happy to help. And there are a lot of great quilters who are really good at choosing fabrics and colors, and I'm sure they can offer comments as well. If you want more tips about colors, you can check my other video that has 7 different ways to choose fabrics for your quilt. That might be helpful. You can find that and lots more help and tutorials at my website, epidastudio.com.